Hello everyone, welcome back to the KoreanKetoGuy channel, and okay, definitely have something different for y'all again as well today. And really for today's video, what I'm doing is gonna try this last concept of having a different style of video, right? So for example, up until this point, you guys will pretty much notice that, okay, I do pretty much mukbang videos. And then after that, right now, I'm starting to do these sort of how-to videos, right? Which is just showing you guys how I cook or prepare any kind of keto type of dish or meal that I eat. And then lastly, this episode, this is going to be more of a just overall general keto related type of stuff or content, which is going to be designed pretty much just to kind of help you all out too, right? Kind of just showing you all, like, you know what? Things change in the keto world all the time. And for someone like myself, right, who's been doing this for so many years, like 5 years plus now, certainly have done a lot of things that I probably wish, I could have done a little better. And if that could save anyone here listening time and stress and blood, sweat, and tears and stuff, then I'd be more than happy to share, right? And so that's kind of what I'm gonna, intend this type of content or this type of episode where I'm sharing with you all like general keto concepts, or just even recapping sort of what I've done in this month alone. I think it'll be hugely helpful. So, right, that's what it's going to be for today, right? It's going to be that type of video. So if you're interested more in the mukbang style of videos or in the more of the how-to style videos, of course you can check that out. I have a bunch of those, or I should say I'm gonna have a lot of those coming up. But for today, right, it's gonna be more of a general a general recap, if you will, of my keto journey, along with kind of a month-to-month thing. So I'm gonna start to do this at least once a month. So we're in October 2021. I'll do a recap of just this month alone in terms of, my journey on this keto lifestyle. I'll probably even squeeze in what I've kind of done throughout the year, just because this is the first installment of the series. So I'll do that too. But anyways, that's kind of why you guys may be wondering, like, where's this food? And why is there a can of Waterloo seltzer water? As a matter of fact, oh man, I love these things, by the way, guys. Waterloo sparkling water, right? So I don't know if they sell this outside of Texas, but this is amazing. Like, of course, you guys already know how much I love HEB, so I don't have to talk about that. But I really love these sparkling waters in general. In general, I love sparkling water, but in this particular case, I just love these but Waterloo sparkling waters. This one's strawberry flavored. I know they advertise like all that good stuff, like it's no calories, no sugar. It's got BPA-free lining. I almost even forgot that cans are lined with plastic, whatever. But anyways, I just really like this. So I'm gonna crack open a cold one here, and then we'll dive right into it. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that is amazing. Wow. Just absolutely amazing. Love this stuff. Anyways, a couple things. It won't be a super long video since pretty much nothing has changed dramatically since, I would say at least even from the beginning of the year up until now, October, not much has changed. To just quickly recap this month alone though, October, certainly nothing much has changed as far as my keto journey. I'm going to stick to this for the long term anyway, so there's no change there. But I just want to point out a few things, especially as I'm watching YouTube content and just stuff here and there when I can about keto. And, I will say that, still leaning more towards the the more vegetable heavy side of it is what's key, right? So if you guys aren't already doing so, sticking to the more, like, whatever vegetable dish you're eating, to include in your keto diet, do that. Like, never stop that. Like that, I think that's been probably the biggest success or driving success factor I've experienced up until now, even within this year and this month, is just making sure my green vegetable intake doesn't go down. In fact, if anything, it should be going up. So recap one for this month, and honestly, from the beginning of the year up until today, remain the vegetable or green intake constant or even more, right? So continue to eat your greens. If you're not eating your greens, make sure to start, because it's a huge part of the keto diet. I'm just gonna say it, like, especially for me, it's just a huge part of it. Without your vegetables and your greens, it's then you're basically just being you're doing like the carnivore and whatever, the carnivore diet, that's, I'm not going to go down that road. We're into the weeds with that, but I feel like, right, approach keto with a heavy veggie, heavy green mindset, and you're going to be good. So that's one. Anyways, and two, for just this month alone, I'm actually going to say sparkling waters. It's funny because these things are just, I don't know. For me, they're like, it just helps me on so many different levels in terms of like, whenever I think I'm kind of hungry, I'm not. I just grab one of these and it helps me kind of curb that hunger if it wasn't really hunger, or kind of like boredness, right? Just being bored and wanting to eat. This curbs that. So it's like, I'll have as many of these as you want, or I'll have as many of these as I want, and I encourage you guys to have as many as you want because it's just sparkling water. It's nothing else, right? So that's pretty much it. Like basically whenever you have any kind of inkling of hunger that you think it's not hunger, it might just be you being more thirsty or whatever, or you're tempted to grab a snack and you're not really hungry, grab a sparkling water. Doesn't have to be this Waterloo strawberry one that I'm drinking, just any sparkling water, it'll help. So yeah, that's it. For this month alone, the two things that I wanted just to quickly recap as far as things you can do on your keto journey. One, maintain your greens, your veggies, your vegetable, whatever you want to call it. Maintain your veggie intake. Don't reduce it. If anything, increase it if you can. But yeah, maintain it. If you haven't started, do it. I highly recommend it. Like just start intaking more vegetables. And number two is really, 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 sort of utilize your sparkling water. Like, for all of you that, especially that you're like, your soda, the soda fans out there, replace it with sparkling water. And then for those who are already drinking sparkling water, really don't hesitate to buy these. Honestly, I know it's kind of weird because I'm usually really budget conscious, and I actually have a Soda Stream, which is more budget friendly, but sometimes when you're like really in a pinch, these things are they're just too valuable. So I would say get your sparkling waters, drink this whenever you're kind of hungry, or when you think you're just bored and you want to prevent yourself from snacking, just drink one of these, see how you feel after. So that's that for this month's recap. Now, just real quick, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to do an also really quick recap of the beginning of the year up until now, which hasn't changed much, honestly, right? And in fact, it includes the two things here I just mentioned, like remain eating your vegetables, increase it if you are already doing so, and if you haven't, start. And then of course your sparkling waters. Like for me, actually, it was more like Soda Stream. I was just using my Soda Stream like crazy, but after the move or whatever, this just was more convenient, quite frankly, and they taste better just because they're flavored. Whereas my Soda Stream, strictly sparkling, it's strictly a sparkling machine. I don't put flavoring in it. But I'm trying to think of things that I did do from January 2021 up until October, right, today, 2021, besides the vegetables and sparkling water, like you already know. I will say, okay, some of you guys may not like this one, especially for people who are just starting out on keto. I cut out cheese. Yeah, I think I cut out cheese pretty much like in July and August, like starting July, or I should say maybe at the end of July, beginning August, sorry, I just stopped eating cheese. And for me, the only reason is because I kind of wanted to, lean out, still doing, muscle building exercise. I'm still trying to bulk up, right? But I'm trying to do the clean bulk, if you will. So I cut out cheese and it was dramatic effects. Like, hate to say it, it really worked. So if you guys are also in any similar boat, cutting out cheese, trying that, it really works. I know it sucks on a keto diet. What I will say is this: if you want to have a cheat day, do that, right? Maybe the cheat day will be a bunch of cheese. Like on a Sunday, this is my cheat day. And obviously you can't have any carbs. You can't just go get a big old pizza. But like on keto, you can cheat. Just have maybe a bunch of cheese that day, along with bacon and whatever else is kind of like keto friendly, but not necessarily healthy for you. Do that. So that's one thing, right? Is actually cutting out cheese for the most part, except on your cheat days. And then I'm trying to think of one more. I want to say actually that's pretty much it as far as a recap from the beginning of the year up until October in terms of my personal keto diet, and just sort of overall keto philosophy. And I guess just to throw it in there, right, since most folks are already doing this probably, but just in case you guys aren't, is right, getting some exercise in, right? So try to work out. I don't even care if it's one time a week. I swear, sometimes I really do only get one time, one day out of the week to do it, but better to do it one day out of the week than not doing anything. So, and don't overdo it either. I know a lot of folks sometimes overdo it to the point where now they don't even want to work out ever again because they're so sore the next day or whatever. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but just in general, right? Get out there, do some physical activity, right? Whether it's once a week or not, or 5 times maybe a day, or 5 times a week is maybe a little too much, or maybe it's not. Like, everyone's a little different. So if you do 5 times a week, then great, like continue. But anyways, yeah. As a recap from January up until October, highly recommend, highly encourage people just to, if they're trying to lean out, if you're trying to lean out a little bit, cut back on the cheese, and then of course incorporate exercise at least once a week minimum. Yeah, and then if you want to even do a really big recap, right? Just because this one's a first installment or the first episode of the series, it's 4 things, right? It's going to be your cutting back on cheese, exercising at least once a week, and then just for within the month of October, introduce sparkling waters if you haven't already to curb any kind of like snacking or bored eating, and then increasing your vegetable intake. Or starting your vegetables if you haven't done so already. And then if you're already doing vegetables, increase if you can. But anyways, that's it, guys. Hope you guys like this new style of content video, this sort of just general recap, keto type of stuff. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, right? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, let me know in the comment section, right? I'm always open to you guys' feedback. So yeah, I hope you guys are all doing all right. Hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you all next weekend. Take care, everybody.